if a man has sex with his wife without her consent, is that a rape?
Capital yes, it's a rape. When you show a woman love, her legs will open naturally. When you care for a woman, her laps will open naturally. Sometimes you don't need to fight. You just need the right language that will enter her ear, that will enter her mouth, that will enter her hands, that will enter her eyes. And she will be the one asking you to come, that she's ready for you.
So it's a fault from the man.
It's the man's fault. You don't know how to play your games, because some men, because of their build, we men are built. It doesn't matter if the woman is smelling, is stinking, as far as we have erection, we want to go, and once we reach orgasm, we have made it in life. And women, it takes time for them to see the glory. It's not just you're trusting, you are sweating, you think you are working, and then at the end you now look at her, you say you have delivered. She has not seen the glory. You will see the glory or arrive orgasm in 2-3 seconds. When we got married, my wife, I told my wife, please, if I do it and you are not okay, tell me so that I will change, or tell me how I will do it. When I do it, this you try, if you improve like this, sometimes she will guide my hand, guide my head, guide my legs, guide my body, because she wants this thing, and I gave her the room.
Talking about the law, are you aware that Nigerian law does not call that rape? What is loud most times is that the man has raped the wife. Is there any scenario like the wife has raped the husband?
If you keep 20 of those scenarios, maybe it can be only one that a woman will rape, and it's rare. It's rare. So most times it's always the men, because
hello, welcome to Quest to Know podcast, a segment of podcasts that will question everything and anything about the church, the African community, and families. It's so good to have us join us here today. And in the house, I have a man I respect so much. I respect this man so much. And I've been monitoring his growth so much. So I would like him to briefly introduce himself. General Day is in the house. General Day is in the house. All right, sir. Sir, I don't need a shallow introduction. Sir, give us a brief profile of yourself.
Yeah. I don't know how to give in fact, let me say General Day is just General Day. He's also a comedian, an MC, OAP. I think that's basically what
all right. We'll dig further into who this man is. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Today's topic is consent in marriage, breaking the silence. Consent in marriage, breaking the silence. We have a lot of things going on in our world today in the sphere of marriage. And it's sad that some things go bad so that it can't be repaired. And this is why we brought General Day. General Day has been, for some of us who know God's House of Refuge, if you're hearing for the first time, he has been a relationship coach for more than, he's married for 7 years, and he's experienced, as a young man, he's experienced in various ways as much as relationship is concerned. All right, sir. So let me bring this question to you. Sir, what is the place of consent in marriage?
The place of consent I would say, is not something that we will overlook or we will just shift aside.
Okay.
When both of you came together to become one.
Okay.
So it's like two people operating in a single body or in a single fare. So one person cannot just stand up and make a decision, another person makes. So every decision should carry the other person. So consent should, in fact, consent is paramount in every relationship. To carry yourself along in communicating, in building the union, You cannot take away consent from there. I can't just wake up one morning and you hear that I'm now in Chicago. And they ask my wife, where is your husband? He said, I don't know. They now call it looks as if you don't even know who you are married to or what is really happening in your home. So in a relationship, consent is something that should always be available. Always. You ask question, how do you want it? How do you want it? How should we do this? How should we do this? It should be we, you. Most times the I is not even supposed to be there again. What I want. It should be what you want and what we want. That's how to build the consent wall around the relationship and marriage.
What you mentioned was so profound. You and we.
Yes,
it's not
we.
I.
Yeah, it's not I. Most times, it's not even. Your spouse should fight for your consent, and you should fight for your spouse. So that should not be what you should fight for.
All right. Okay, sir. There's this question that was I asked on Facebook, and it was really trending. And I want us to do justice to this topic, to this question a lot. If a man has sex with his wife without her consent, is that rape?
If a man has sex with his wife
without,
is it that she's sleeping and then the man
maybe forcefully?
Okay, you mean forcefully?
Yeah.
Because sometimes the woman can be sleeping and wakes up and discovers that the husband has slept with her. So I just wanted to be clear because if she was sleeping, so you mean forceful? Yes, forceful. The answer is capital yes. It's a rape. There are no two ways about it. The component of consent cannot be taken away from marriage. The component of consent cannot be taken away from marriage. I should be aware of what you are doing with me or to me, and you should be aware of what I'm doing to you or for you. So it's not something you force me, something you fight me, something you aggressively want to desire. So it's a capital yes. It's a rape because consent, mutual consent is what defines the marriage, defines the relationship. Mutual consent that I agree for you to do it is what makes it marriage. When I say no and I'm refusing and you are forcing me, that bridges one, the law, two, the biblical principles that you're supposed to uphold, and also some personal, how would I call it, exigencies and arrangement. So it beyond just you, just forcing a woman, there are implications to all this that some people don't even know.
Sir, General, talking about the law, are you aware that Nigerian law does not call that rape?
What does it call it?
It says that it can't be called a rape when a man has sex with his wife in any condition, in whatever method. So how do we justify this in our Nigerian setting?
The truth is that many countries justify forceful penetration as rape. Forceful penetration as rape, including the Nigerian constitution, even in the confines of marriage. I don't know if yours has been amended, which of the constitution.
But before I came in here,
yes, they say it's not rape. Maybe they have amended it, but if you look at the global space, forceful penetration is rape, whether in the confine of marriage or outside of marriage. There must be consent. I must agree that you should do this to me. Even the Bible speaking said that is two of you should agree on matters of sex, except one is saying, let me fast. That is to tell you that there should be consent. Sex should not be deprived. It should be something that should flow naturally, willingly, and just go like that. And there are rules, there are punishment for, in some countries, if you rape, there are punishment.
Yeah.
It depends on the context, on the country's legal system. Okay. There are punishment. Some is imprisonment. Some it is treated as a very serious crime that you pay a fine. Yeah. They are different. Yeah. So even that is, in a normal sense, you seeing someone forcing himself to someone is even against the human will. So you should. I don't even know why the constitution will say. I don't know. I need to check.
Please,
I need to check your constitution because
it's not my constitution. It's Nigerian constitution.
Your constitution. Because me, it's rape. It is serious rape.
Can a man go to jail because of that?
It can. He can go to jail. Yes, he can go to jail, and it's a ground for divorce. It's a ground. There are some countries that if a woman sits now and say he rapes me forcefully and I want to leave the marriage, the law acknowledges that statement as far as she can prove it that every time the man does it is by force.
Can a man steal his thing? Can someone steal what belongs to him?
That is where I will call that man foolish.
Okay.
Because something is yours.
Are you stealing it?
And you are stealing it. It's foolishness. You see, sometimes if I look at men that rape their wife, I begin to look at it from different angles. Is it lack of knowledge, lack of wisdom, lack of training, lack of something is lacking?
Something is lacking.
Because even the Bible says, my people perish for lack of. So it is lack. Even when they confronted Jesus, Shuleman, the woman betrothed, raped, Jesus now asked them, have you not read?
Yeah.
So some men, I just look at them as they lack some basic knowledge. Because if you read wide and study the chemistry, the building, the formation of a woman is wired to love. When you show a woman love, her legs will open naturally. When you care for a woman, her laps will open naturally. Sometimes you don't need to fight. You just need the right language that will enter her ear, that will enter her mouth, that will enter her hands, that will enter her eyes. And she will be the one asking you to come, that she's ready for you.
So it's a fault from the man.
It's the man's fault. You don't know how to play your games. My pastor will always say, if you want to have sex with your wife in the night, it begins in the morning. It begins in the morning. She's going to work. You just hold her hand and compliment. Wow, you look beautiful. She will just carry that. You look beautiful. She's at work. You just call her, babe, how are you doing today? I hope work is not stressful. You do a surprise. Just maybe send data or airtime and she receive an alert. I say, did you do airtime for me? Say, yes. So before you know, she's coming back to a man that has cared for her the whole day. A single touch from the back, from the waist, she's down there for you. So as a man, you need to understand what you are doing wrong that is giving room for your wife not to allow you have sex.
So what if this rejection has lasted for a while? Don't you think the woman too may have fault from her end?
No, when we talk about faults, there's nothing that cannot be corrected.
Okay.
There's nothing, and most times these women, they grow to a level where they develop courage to tell their husbands what they are doing that is wrong. But their husbands don't learn. They don't want to learn. For example, now, for a perfect sex environment to take place, for some energy to fly, you must first of all consider the timing. What is the time that this man is demanding sex from the woman? Yes. What is the process? How is the process like? Is she always comfortable with the process? Because some men, because of their build, we men are built. It doesn't matter if the woman is smelling, is stinking, as far as we have erection, we want to go. And once we reach orgasm, we have made it in life. We don't care about the woman. And women, it takes time for them to see the glory. It's not just you're trusting, you are sweating, you think you are working, and then at the end, you now look at her, you say you have delivered. She has not seen the glory. You will see the glory or arrive orgasm in 2-3 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, you are there. But she needs time. So you need to understand her language. What does she want in this process? There are places you will touch. There are things you will do. There are songs you will sing. There are positions you will keep and arrange. Your fingers are there. Your head should be working. There are things that process, because once the process is wrong, the next time the woman will refuse and say, God forbid, I will not do it. You understand? And then basic hygiene, clean up, make sure as a man you neat. That will attract the woman to come close and stuff like that. So I will blame any man that is raping his wife. He's stealing from his own. So you need to.
Guys, General Ode has been a relationship coach. Most of us that know Pastor Ezekiel at the time will attest that this man has sat under him and has drunk from his well. So I don't know, what is your opinion on this matter? Can a man rape his wife? You may drop or a comment on the comment section and let's have you take. Let me come again to General. General, in a sentence, what is loud most times is that the man has raped the wife. Is there any scenario like the wife has raped the husband?
If you keep 20 of those scenarios, maybe it can be only one that a woman will rape, and it's rare. It's rare. So most times it's always the men, because men are sexually driven. What they see most times move their adrenalines, their energy, and blood begins to pump to a certain direction. They have to fire for them to be okay. So it's always men that are, in fact, the truth is that if you see a community where they are raping men, they will have a lot of men from other villages come to that place, because let me go, let them rape me. They feel like, I want to go, let them rape me. People can be passing in this direction now, and a lady will say they are raping girls in that place. Girls will be running that they are raping girls there. But when they say they are raping boys in that, they are girls that are raping boys. They will call guy Alpha. Then they rape this side too. You know, go turn come. So a man is wired for that energy. So it's a rare scenario for you to say, a woman raped me. First. How did you get the erection before the rape? Because there should be something hard before the rape will take place. I can't say I don't want, and I'm having erection. How does it work?
Oh wow, such a great time. All right, sir, let's bring this to a wrap. And so what advice would you give to people because I think few times I've been in Fresh Wine for Couples where people ask questions like still bringing into this context of sex, where people ask my wife does not like she only likes the missionary style. I know that I just heard it too.
I know.
Fresh Wine.
How did you get to Fresh Wine? It's for married people. How did you?
I went to play keyboards. Okay, so the husband complained that the wife only like the missionary style. She's not open to any other style. What would you say about bringing consent to this in play?
It boils down to communication. Some men have built a wall that their wives cannot communicate with them on matters of sex. And some women are afraid to tell their husbands that this thing we just do now, try. They are afraid to kill their husband's ego. But as a man, you should be able to break that fence. When we got married, I told my wife, please, if I do it and you are not okay, tell me so that I will change, or tell me how I will do it. When I do it, this you try, if you improve like this, sometimes she will guide my hand, guide my head, guide my legs, guide my body, because she wants this thing, and I gave her the room. Tell me, don't make it look as if a woman tells you didn't deliver, you now go and kill yourself that you did not deliver. Have that communication. I sat with my wife when we got married. How do you want? Because the truth is that before we got born again or before we married, we have done a lot of things, and we have a picture of how some ladies loved it. And if you carry that picture of your ex and now mount it on your wife is a different person. She might not like the commando you were doing with your ex. She prefers the Jackie Chan. And then you are bringing commando, and every time she's rejecting your process. So communicate and say, how do you want it? She will tell you, I like 10 minutes foul play. Then you now build your mind as, okay, before I go into the altar for prayer, I must do 10 minutes devotion, touch everywhere, make sure everywhere is okay before. But some men, hey, piam, and the women will begin to avoid. So communication should be the order of the day. Let's discuss. How do you want sex? How do you enjoy it? What are the positions you like? Oh, me, I don't like this position. Oh, you don't like this position. Oh, God. You now know. So when you are in the war front now, you know where to shoot and where not to shoot. So you don't turn somebody on and now off it.
Thank you very much, General. It has been an amazing time here discussing. So, bringing this with my final question. Sir.
Yes.
I would think why we have statistics have shown that why we have a lot of divorce is because of lack of commitment. The spouse, partners are not committed to each other. And the second one is infidelity, according to Forbes America. So now, what is the foundation that should be put in place so that this does not play in marriage? So that someone does not enter marriage 2 years, 3 years, and say, I want to go. So what are the things that should be put in check so that the consent thing, the communication thing, all of them will fall in place and we are good to go?
There are lots of things to put in place before, but to summarize them, you just have to understand each other and have the God factor. The God factor and understand each other. If you bring God into the picture, you fear God, I fear God. I will not do something that will hurt you. You will not do something that will hurt me, because if I hurt you, it's against even God that I fear. So once you have those arrangement of understanding yourself, you now begin to communicate your goals clearly. You know the boundaries you are not supposed to pass, and you work hard to satisfy each other. If all my life, all my days, I'm working hard to make sure you are okay, and you are working hard to make sure I'm okay, there will be no room for me to begin to look for a woman outside, begin to look for another relationship outside. We just build our wall, build ourselves, and build, in fact, just work together with understanding. So infidelity can come in. But the truth is that if I fear God and understand that it's against the Bible, I will not do it. So marry someone that fears. In fact, my pastor will always say, if you want to marry somebody and you tell the person is trying to do something funny, and you tell the person the Bible is against this, and the person says, leave Bible, that is a wrong person to marry, that he does not tremble when you mention Bible and God. Leave Bible. He will do worse. He will bring a side chick and sit in front of you and be feeding the side chick, and you are the wife. He won't do anything because he does not fear anybody or anything. So someone that references God should just... Some people will not take it.
Thank you very much. Consent in marriage, breaking the silence. As a married person, as couples, there is great room for consent, and it demands that it is you, striving to please each other, not striving to please yourself. Thank you very much, General.
Thank you very much
for coming.
It's a pleasure.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much. Bye for now.